Okay, it looks like we are live, so hello everybody, I am GhostSenpai, also known as Mamas, and now it's time to see some action with Snow Brothers. This game was run on last Retrothon by Apotic Cthulhu on the any person category, but now this time we're gonna enjoy the all stages one player category, which means that I need to beat all the 50 stages that the game has. So I'm gonna make a countdown from 3, so 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is a port from a game that was released back in 1990s for arcades, released and developed by Topland, and this was ported by Topland to the NES/Famicom in 1991, and released by them in Japan. And that year, in 1991, it was released by Capcom in NTSC territories, and people from PAL territories enjoyed this game in 1992. The first thing that I'm trying to do here I'm glad that I have got, it's something that I like to call position manipulation, because in this video game, usually, in many video games, the enemies has a kind of RNG factor or some cycle that defines where those the characters are gonna be, where those enemies are gonna be located and all that kind of stuff. But in this game, it's slightly different because depending on your position, it's the way that the enemies are gonna move. So I'm gonna try to move to some specific spots to defeat the enemies as fast as possible, and also to get some items. Like in the first stage, I got the red potion, which is the potion that makes me going faster. That is mostly the most important potion in the game. Also, the yellow potion increases your shooting range, and the blue one, which is the one that I'm lacking of, makes that our shooting game is increased. Also, the game is registered as Snow Brothers on speedrun.com for the people who is looking for the times with the bot. My PB is 1851, which is tied at third place with the Cthulhu's former world record. And getting back into the game, now that I have the 3 potions, I need to be so careful in order to don't die, otherwise I'm gonna lose the potions, something that it's really bad in this game, because mostly the red and the blue potions are the more essential in the game. Well, mostly in the run. The yellow potion, which increased my shooting range, it's not required at all, but it's helpful in some way. So, and the concept, talking about how do you defeat the enemies, is kinda similar to Bubble Bubble, if we consider that in Bubble Bubble you trap the enemies in bubbles. In this game you trap them into snowballs, you freeze them, and then you can throw the snowballs, and if a rolling snowball touches an enemy, it's gonna turn that enemy into an item. So this is the first boss fight. It's not a big deal to beat this guy, I just need to hit him 6 times in a row. Usually I like to keep at the top of the screen, and because with this I can abuse from the invincibility frames that I can get every time that I get touched by a rolling snowball. So with it I just can get at the top and avoid some enemies while I try to freeze them, and there we go. This was the first boss fight. And this is a very good luck for a marathon that I got these 3 crosses, because this is Slot Machine. It's just an exclusive for the NES release. And what does this do? What does this makes is that it can give to us some extra points, and just I'm gonna repeat this. And Snow Bros. Nick and Tom is the name of the arcade game, I think. So you find this as Snow Brothers. That's the name of the NES game at speedrun.com. So getting back to this, the slot machine, it's a very bad section for running this game, because here you need to try to get as much crosses as possible. In this case I got 3 crosses, which is very good, because each cross doesn't give to us points. You can get 1 letter from the snow word, and each letter gives to us 10,000 points, and also you get an extra life. You get the extra life and 50,000 points, meaning that on this game, talking about running it, you will wish you don't get extra lives at the slot machine. So the more points I get at slot machine, the more slowest that I'm gonna be moving to the next stages. And well, this is the only opportunity that we had to watch this green potion, which turns my head into a kind of balloon for just one stage. And well, the bot said the times for the any percent category. The category is all stages, one player. And yes, that's another fact from the NES release, and due to technical limitations of the console, a lot of enemies were cut from the arcade release. There are more enemies at the arcade version. And also, this game has in some way that feeling from the arcade, from an arcade machine, because it gives to us like 9 credits that are shared between both players. So once you run out of that 9 credits, it's definitely a game over. And yes, there's a lot of difference comparing this with the arcade release. Another good example is we're gonna watch it here on the second boss fight with this big frog, because all the time in the arcade version it appears at the floor, but here is RNG based. Fortunately, I got a good RNG here that put this enemy into the floor. Again, I just need to do between 6 to 7 hits, and it's not gonna be a big deal. And it's good that it hasn't disappeared and went to the roof, so I'm gonna see right now. Okay, he kept on the floor. Okay, another good RNG with this boss fight, which I'm really glad. Because comparing this with the arcade release, and the arcade release after some time, the frog moves to the top of the stage and then it goes back again. So the way that you defeat this boss is just to freeze the enemies that the boss is gonna be throwing, and you need to do between 6 to 7 hits. Here I got an extra life, which is a good example about how much time you can lose if you get this pattern. So progressing into the game, we're gonna see different kind of enemies and ways that I'm gonna be defeating them. The way that I'm moving, it's mostly to defeat the enemies as fast as I can. But before, on the first stages, mostly in stage 2, I move it into a specific pattern in order to get the potions, which helps a lot to get a huge amount of time. Because they help in some way to make the game kinda easier, but in some ways it's still being kinda hard, like many of the games of the era. And also some snowballs can help us to reach that kind of platforms, like the big one at the top that this sumo guy is appearing, but it's not necessary that I go for him, because he disappears once I defeat the rest of the enemies. But for some enemies like these blue guys, I need to be so careful, because they can throw some knives, they can turn into some tornadoes, and usually that enemies are one of the most annoying if we talk about speedrunning this game. And that was a good example about using the snowball, but unfortunately that enemy was touched by the snowball, and that lollipop that just gives us points spawned at the top of the screen, so I need to wait until the item disappears in order that I can be moved to the next stage. That's something really weird to happen, but fortunately I haven't lost so much time like that. Stage 28, I'm gonna try to do something with the position of the enemies. So what I'm gonna do here is jump over here and move to this spot. And there we go! This is another good pattern with the RNG. Because I have made that butt of the enemies fall into the floor, so I was able to freeze them and defeat them quickly. And now after this stage, we're gonna see the third boss fight. I use again the invincibility frames with the snowball. That's a very good technique that's gonna help us to do this run. Because there are gonna be some spots where there's gonna be a lot of enemies and we would like to do this in order to get some time. So third boss fight, this is kinda the same as the arcade release. Okay, I missed one hit. It's fine, it's fine. No! Okay, I have died. This is awful. I shouldn't have done that, so... And now we're gonna be introduced into the war into a slow pace again. That's the reason why I have this as a 24-minute estimate for the run. So the way that I defeat these birds is just to throw 3 snowballs to each of them, not a big deal. Except that when the game is kinda tricky like this, and yes, there we go, this was the 3rd boss fight. It's something really unfortunate that I have died there. But this kind of stuff happens, and also this can help us to prove that we're doing this live. But it's fine, I mean, I'm gonna try to get the potions at the next stages. The good part of this that I have lost my potions here is that on these stages between stage 31 and 35, it's another section where you can manipulate the enemies in order to get some potions. So if I'm lucky, and also if the RNG bless me, I'm gonna be able to get back at least the red and the blue potion, which are the most important to get as much time as we can. So with this, we can compare the difference between the speed. Okay, never mind. That kind of enemy, that monkey that looks like that enemy that looks like a monkey was kinda troll. So here, I'm gonna try to do another manipulation, because to get out of here, I need to use again these snowballs to reach the top. And I need to press A and B at the same time to throw the snowball, but for some reason this doesn't want to work. Okay, there we go. So now this is gonna be the complicated section. And I'm gonna die again. Okay, don't worry, I can deal with this. Though I may have been in worse situations. And I have died again, nice. So since now I have lost all my lives, let's say rest in pepperonis to the alternative ending of the game, because I have used one of the continues. So the plot of this game is like most of the 80s/90s arcade games. It's on a long and a far away kingdom, that some twin princesses were kidnapped. Then the brothers Nick and Tom try to rescue them, but the evil guy who kidnaps them has kidnapped them. The twin princesses put a curse on both Nick and Tom, making them then turn it into snowmen. So in order to break the curse, they need to also save the princesses. So I'm gonna explain that later on. On the last stage and also this one, if I haven't died and I have kept all my potions, I should have made another manipulation over here. In order to, well, not a real manipulation, but I should have used invincibility frames. Because at these sections, at these stages, it's so probable you lose a huge amount of time like this. So I'm having a terrible, awful luck right now. I'm trying to get the potions, but okay, the game doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, there's the blue, but I don't think I'm gonna reach it, to be honest. I'm not gonna reach the potion, unfortunately. I have lost time. Even if I have skipped that enemy, I shouldn't have been able to get them. It's time to go for some blessing RNG moments, because this is another stage where I have higher chances to get a potion. Okay, this is my last opportunity. Give me something, okay. Great potion is a yes. It's more harder, well, not harder at all, but it's more slower to beat the game without any potions. And yes, there's always a curse, and I got the marathon curse. So while these guys are turned into tornadoes, I cannot freeze them, but I can use invincibility frames again in order to try to keep in order to move as fast as possible. And now stage 39 is one of the most complicated, because here, if I get in the center of the screen on the stage, unfortunately I cannot get out easily. So what I'm gonna try to do is to manipulate again the position of the enemies. So, but it looks like I'm gonna die. Yes, I'm gonna die again. Okay, definitely this hasn't been my best run, and I'm gonna die again because, again, I haven't got enough time to move away and skip that enemy. Okay. The important ones here are the blue enemies that turns into tornadoes. And now the problem is gonna be to beat these guys, because usually they like to. One of them likes to be so troll and keep at the center of the screen. Okay, it's fine. Fourth boss fight. This is slightly different than the arcade release because these fire enemies cannot be frozen at the arcade release. Instead of that, we're gonna have some enemies that falls from the roof, and also there are two of these ogres in the game. Two of these enemies. So I just need to hit this guy 6 times and we are done. And yes, this was the fourth boss fight, and now it's time to go to probably the most unfair section of the game, which are the last 10 stages, obviously including the boss fight. The reason of why I say that this is unfair is because you need to have a very good RNG if you want to beat this faster, mostly with the boss fight, which I'm gonna be explaining at this moment. So let's see, give me the blue. Okay, for some reason I'm not getting the blue potion at this stage, when I used to get it most of the time, but it's fine because during stages 41 to 49 it's so common to get the blue potion. So I'm gonna try to freeze some bats. Okay, this is fine, I'm gonna freeze this guy. Now, so the good part of these stages is that if I fall down on the holes, I don't die. I just spawn at the top of the screen. So I'm gonna be using this during all these stages, because this can get a huge amount of time trying to reach some higher spots. It should take to us a good amount of time to go regularly, or well, some spots that we cannot reach just jumping around. Yes, the bat has mustaches, and I haven't not realized that until like 2 or 3 months ago, when somebody on my stream told me that. I have been playing this game since 2004, and I never realized that until this moment. And I have that again, and it's time to use another continue. But you're gonna see something curious, because besides the fact that I'm losing a lot of lives, I'm gonna finish under the estimate. How I know that? That used to happen most of the time. So I hope that the runner curse doesn't appear right here, because I have said that. Okay, I haven't made a correct timing, because for some reason my mind was thinking that I was having all the 3 potions to defeat this enemy. Also, if I remember correctly, on the arcade version, it doesn't matter if you have catch all the items. If you are moved to the next stage, once you have beaten all the enemies. This doesn't happen on the NES version. So you will see that I will be going for all the items during all the game. And I forgot that there was a hidden hamburger that just gave me 10,000 points that has make that I have died again. But it's good because the face bonus item has appeared at the left section of the screen, that it just spawns a bonus that replaces the enemies to get words from the snow word, and if we get the snow word, we gain an extra life. Maybe for memes I should have catch it, but since I don't have the potions, I don't wanna take more risks. And yes, I just can say that maybe between stages 1 to 29 I got a good RNG, because starting stage 30, when I have lose all my potions, this nightmare happened. It's fine. Now it's time to go to the stage 50, and if you have played, or as let's say seen some gameplays from arcade release, you have noticed that here the gameplay is slower. But for some reason, this boss fight is more faster and kinda easier than the arcade release. The reason of this is because the bubbles spawns faster and the roof is not falling down. So we can consider this as the only stage that it's better on the NES port than the arcade release. So what did I need to do here is just to freeze some of the enemies that this boss is gonna be throwing on the bubbles. I need to hit each guy 10 times. And each bubble can have 4 things. It can have a fireball, it can have a potion, it can have an enemy, or just don't have nothing. So I'm gonna be blessing in order to get the bubbles with enemies, because this is the RNG factor in this game. And this is the reason why this is so unfair. What some runners do, it's just to try to get inside of the bubbles as much as they can, because maybe one of that bubbles has a potion, and with it you can reduce the amount of elements on the screen. Oh damn, I lost an enemy. And for some reason, well, not for some reason, if there are a lot of potions at the top of the roof that are the ones that were on the bubbles, the bosses, these guys are not gonna be throwing snowballs, so you will try to get as less elements on the screen as you can. Because as we have seen, we have 3 bubbles, we got 3 potions there, and just 1 bubble has spawned. Okay, I'm close to beat this. So the time's gonna finish once I beat the second guy, when I make the last hit. We're getting to the end, and we're getting close. So I'm just gonna blaze in order to gain some enemies. Oh my god! Get out, get out. Also, if for some reason I should have died here, if I press all the buttons, if I keep pressing them until I appear, there's a glitch that makes that I keep the potions. That sometimes happens, sometimes don't. But honestly, I don't wanna know if I'm able to get it. Also, individual shoots helps a bit, but also that doesn't help with the objective of not having a lot of elements on the screen, and that's the time. And now we see the regular ending that some people also can consider as a kind of bad ending. What happens here is that now the game tells to us that we defeated the bad guy, and now the princess has been rescued, and now the peace on the kingdom is back. But if I should have used any continue, besides of this, the evil guy should have been defeated, the brothers loses the curse, the princesses are rescued, and also the princesses married both Nick and Tom. And this is something really funny, talking about the fact that I think that I have lost, like, I don't know, between 5 to 7 lives, maybe? It's funny because, besides of that, I was able to finish under the estimate, which I am really glad about this game, and thanks for the GGs in all the chat. I hope that you have enjoyed the run of this game. It's a very short game, and also if somebody is interested into running this game, feel free to ask to me. I'm gonna be glad of helping to everybody who wanna do runs of this game. I have some kind of knowledge with the arcade and Genesis release, but I'm better at the NES version, talking about speed touch and knowledge about the game. So, well, I think that I am done for now. I'm gonna be back later with Donald Duck and Quackers. So now it's time to move with Sonic Man 2005 with Streets of Rage 2. So, well, before I also finish, I need to do a special shout out to the Portuguese restream, and mostly to Chiteiro, who is the guy who was helping with the Portuguese restream doing the commentary for this run. And also shoutouts to the Retro Gaming Live staff for giving me the opportunity to showcase this game, because unfortunately I have submitted this game to a lot of marathons and most of the time this game got rejected, so I'm glad that I was able to make a showcase of this run. So well, thank you everybody for watching and keep enjoying the marathon. Peace.